Two stories, next on Soapography. Then, Jennifer Landon is the child of television royalty.
I was appearing with my dad in Highway to Heaven. It was my first acting job.
But being a princess has its heartaches.
I saw an incredibly strong person become very weak to the point of where you're stronger than they are.
Michael Landon's daughter talks about the downside of fame.
Certain, tabloid things would come out that he was dead and we were keeping his body in our house.
Plus, Jen opens up about her alter ego.
I showed up on my first day of school as Charles Barkley. Kids called me Barkley.
All that and more, next on Soapography. And still to come, Jennifer Landon opens up about the pain of losing her father.
I'm sure he shielded all of us from, his illness, pain.
There's more of Judy Evans coming up. But first, it's time for our Coming Up. Jennifer Landon's painful childhood.
I'd go to school and girls like, "That's true, your dad's dead."
And the tragedy that made her think about never acting again.
The very first day was September 11th.
All that and more when Soapography returns. Welcome back to Soapography. She's the level-headed daughter of television icon Michael Landon.
I was appearing with my dad in Highway to Heaven. It was my first acting job.
Now she plays troubled teen Gwen Norbeck on As the World Turns.
Gwen is from the other side of the tracks. Her mother was an alcoholic, and she's been living on her own since she was 16.
Acting is in her blood, and now that she's won an Emmy, there's no turning back.
Doesn't feel like business. It's like the greatest acting opportunity.
Jennifer Landon started out life as a beach baby in Malibu, California.
We lived on the water until I was around 6 years old. And then we moved to a place where there's like 8 or 9 acres. So I was in the dirt a lot when I was little.
Jennifer's father was television icon Michael Landon. And when she was little, he got her into the family business.
I remember that experience very well.
Jennifer's early experiences working with her dad became even more precious when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
I saw an incredibly strong person become very weak to the point of where you're stronger than they are, physically.
He did his best to keep his deteriorating health from affecting his daughter.
I'm sure he shielded all of us from, his illness. He was in our home, though, so there was a nurse and a doctor around, and I remember I heard numbers. I remember blood count numbers, and I think my mom had a lot to do with trying to shield us.
But nothing could protect Jen from a rabid media that wouldn't leave the family alone.
Certain tabloid things would come out, that he was dead, and we were keeping his body in our house, and I'd go to school, and the kid would be like, "That's true, your dad's dead."
Jennifer's father died in 1991 when she was just 8 years old. The loss hit her hard.
You kind of see how life does a big flip, and it was sad, but it indicates something about life, and so you start to question a lot of things.
For Jennifer, any childhood dreams of becoming an actress died with her father.
I didn't really ever talk about it. I was just kind of nuts for a lot of my life. I definitely separated myself from that.
As a preteen, Jennifer moved to France, where she attended an exclusive girls' school.
It was very hard to adjust. A tomboy American girl going into French culture is a totally different experience. I showed up on my first day of school as Charles Barkley. I mean, I had the basketball shoes, I had his uniform on, and I had this basketball, and I was bouncing it. So the kids called me Barkley.
Jennifer survived the culture shock and found things to enjoy in France.
I was a big jock. We had great soccer there. We would play at lunch, we would play on break, we would play after school, And we didn't wear shin guards, and we didn't have any grass fields. We played on gravel.
Ultimately, the move was good for Jennifer. She made lots of friends and did very well in school. After she graduated from high school, Jennifer was accepted to NYU's prestigious Tisch School of the Arts.
The fall of 2001, the very first day of school was September 11th. And I went outside, I'd just eaten breakfast, and I was going over early, and I saw the second plane fly in from Washington Square Park.
After the trauma of witnessing the attack on September 11th, Jennifer retreated home to California to take stock of her life.
I think the years of like 18 to 22 are like the dark ages that people don't warn you about. I mean, it's such a hard time. Like, your surroundings completely change. It was a roller coaster of a ride, and I'm so glad that I had it. I'm really glad that I had it.
But after some time away, Jennifer returned to Tisch and was cast in several college productions.
I did The Maids, and I did Rhinoceros.
Like other NYU hopefuls, Jennifer had an agent, but she didn't expect to start working. Not right away, anyway.
It was the first or second week that I was out auditioning, and I got a call that I was going to go audition for a soap, and I was like, ooh. I'd seen primetime soaps, Dynasty and Dallas. I had seen what I now know are TV novelas, and I thought those were awesome. And I used to like to act them out, even though I didn't speak Spanish.
As the World Turns producers wanted the gutsy ingenue to play Gwen Norbeck, a tough teen who'd gone to the School of Hard Knocks. Her manager told her the good news.
And he said, they don't want the short-term contract. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That's okay. And he's like, no, they want you for 3 years. And I was in shock.
Jen got another shock when she won the Emmy for Outstanding Younger Actress in 2006. The Emmy is the icing on the cake for Jennifer Landon, who has become so close to her character Gwen.
She turns that emotional valve off a lot, but inside she's so sensitive. And in some ways, it's changed who I am a little bit, which is nice.
Soapography. 2 stars, 2 stories. For more on Judy Evans and Jennifer Landon, log on to soapnet.com.